Welcome back, Destiny dudes. This is another PvP tips and tactics video. This video is going to specifically cover and progress on the tips and tactics from video 5, this being video 6. So we're going over mid-level PvP players, and the ranking for that, as established by the competitive ranking, is what you see right here on screen. So if you are mid-level, here is your rank as of this particular video. Now these videos are designed to stack progressively on top of each other so that you have skills that you can assess at level 1, for example, and then move yourself up to the top 1% as a professional player if you have a goal of that with Destiny PvP. But my goal is to help teach you PvP and the different things you can do to improve from new player all the way up to high level or professional player. At the very least, let's get you the sweet new emblem, which is coming out season after season. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with tip number 1. It's time to find yourself a buddy. So my tip number 1 is to find a battle buddy, at least that's what I call them. I personally have 2 of them, and there's a couple of things and criteria that I want you guys to look for when you're determining who you're going to play with in PvP competitive ranks consistently together. The first thing, and probably the most important, is that your goals actually line up and match with each other. If you're playing with somebody that is just kind of a casual player, not looking to take PvP competitively or seriously, it may be fun to play with them, but you're probably not on the same page. That is tip number 1. Look for somebody with a similar, ideology, similar mindset. That way you guys can sync up in such a way that you're on the same page and you're there for the same reasons. So yeah, that is part of tip number 1 and how you should be looking for a partner, is that you guys should have goals that line up with each other. A battle buddy is someone that you can go consistently into a private match with and practice. Now I'm not talking about messing around, I'm talking about actual practice. Practice your shot, practice engaging with each other, practice figuring out how each other plays so that you can play better with each other when you go to quick play for your official warm-up. So that's part of tip number 1. The second part to tip number 1 is you guys need to be on the same schedule. Now that could be really hard, but if you got someone that cannot consistently schedule with you so you can get time to just play together, then you're never going to be in the competitive arena and able to stand a chance against these guys that have been playing together for years. So rip the band-aid off, find a buddy, try to make sure you set goals up together, and make sure that you can schedule time to play together. Otherwise, you guys will be playing with each other and not know a thing about how the other person plays, what their tendencies are, or anything of that nature, and you're probably just going to get stomped on and be really mad at your partner for not doing a job, quote-unquote. But you guys aren't playing together consistently enough for you to have any real non-communicative benefits. That is what makes a team, knowing what the other person is going to do before they do it, so you can play off of it and have a stronger chance of beating people in competitive ranks. So that is 2 parts for tip number 1. The next tip is called intense intention, and I have an example for you guys from a teammate of mine. The best way I can describe this is it's a progressive state of mind of playing with confidence. Now, one of the newbie tip videos I talk about being confident in your gameplay. This is the progressive version of that, meaning your follow-through has intention. You're going to do a thing and you're going to do it right the first time and you're going to destroy the other team. Example I can give you is right here. I'm shooting, my teammate says, I'm flanking. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is flanking. He's going in there and he's doing it with intent. He ends up taking out all of them. That's my point. That is intention. Right there. He knew what had to be done. He didn't think twice. He didn't bat an eye. He didn't blink. He just went in. One of the funny things about our relationship as one of my battle buddies is I ask him before every game, hey, who are we playing? You know his response every time, even though we were just laughing and joking, is our next victims. That may sound funny to some of you guys, but that's the mentality that he has going into competitive games. You are there to be his punching bag. That is intention. It's something that you develop as you go along, and it's something that you have to get in the right mindset to have. No hesitation, just go. Whatever it is that you're planning, go do it. Do it with purpose. Do it with full on, no tilt in your head. Get in there and do your thing. So my teammate that you're watching here, Thunder, does that incredibly well, and it's one of the reasons he's one of my big battle buddies. It's because I've learned how to take some of that mindset from gaming, from watching him. So there's more benefits to just having a battle buddy that can 3v1 everybody in trials. You also learn a lot about how they play and about how they can follow up and what you can learn from that person. I'm now trying to get better about shotgunning. I hate shotgunning. I'm a fusion rifleman. You guys all know that. But my battle buddy here is helping me learn how to do that. He has purpose and intention, and it's incredibly intense. And it's something that I think a lot of you guys can learn from. So, tip number 2, intense intention. Follow through, play with purpose. Third and final tip, we're going to talk about pie. That's right, slicing the pie. Now, this is a new concept to you guys. It initially came from a military tactic that has to do with angling and positioning so that you can move around corners effectively while seeing your target first and they see you secondary, especially if they're trying to hide around a corner. The best way I can tell you that you should be doing this in-game, there's two different ways I teach it. One, anytime you're taking on a solo target, make sure you move diagonally towards them, going from cover to cover. That keeps most things at an angle. If you're holding ground side to side, it is best for positioning. But we're talking about slicing the pie. Take a look at the images and take a look at this image right here. The whole goal of it is to use your angles so you can move forward effectively, closing the gap and closing the distance so that you have a higher likelihood of seeing them first, getting first shot, therefore getting a higher probability of winning that engagement. So, the best players in the game utilize this without even thinking twice about it. It was originally a military tactic or a SWAT tactic so that you are able to get the first shot, so that you are not surprised. So, if you want to be really good winning your 1v1s, think about diagonally approaching an individual target, and when you're holding into an area, consider side-to-side movement only if you want to hold the area down. That's it. Alright, my dudes, so those are the tips for this video. Gonna recap them for you real quick. Tip number 1, get yourself a battle buddy. It's time to make a friend. Tip number 2, play with intensive intention. And I gave multiple examples of my battle buddy doing that in-game that I think are incredibly effective. Rewatch the footage if you need to. Watch what he's doing. He's an expert at this. It's one of the reasons we play together, because he's still teaching me more things about the game. Slicing the pie is the final tip. That's the last thing I need you guys to learn. It is a tactical method of clearing a room so that you can peek a corner effectively, getting first shot, and not be surprised by what's around the corner. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if this is helping you out. This video series is designed to help get you that new emblem. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of all these tips. Alright, my dudes. I love all you guys. I'll see you in the next one.